様の神を仰ぐがいい。
That's right, guys, God King Garen. So I picked up the Garen skin and I started playing him. And take a look at this. Yes, yes, yes. I pretty much won every single game on Garen. And when I lost, as you can see here, when I was actually losing, I had a bad team. I am gonna show you guys today now how wow, this is pretty sad, but I'm gonna show you guys today how you can get similar results on Garen. So I'm gonna explain to you how to build Garen in the beginning part of the video. If you don't care about how to build him, but I really recommend you to stay because this is very important, then you can skip to the gameplay immediately. Also, I have some things to say real quick. Join my Discord channel. My Discord channel almost has 1,000 members and I'm going to be celebrating it. I'm not going to tell you guys how, just make sure to join it. As you can see here, people can actually talk with me. You know, I actually talk with people like, hello, how are you doing? You can post memes, you can do video suggestions. Like, see, you can talk with me and tell me things and if you want to interact with me. So make sure you join my Discord channel, link in the description. Also giving away 15, well, it doesn't fit in my hand, so 15 skins this month. All you gotta do, put down a comment under this video. So, how do you build Garen? Guys, I just really want to tell you that Garen is so fun to play. It is incredible how fun this champion is. So, I am 100% sure if you guys watch this whole video, you are gonna pick up Garen and play him. So there are different builds, but I'm gonna tell you what I've tested out different things, but this is pretty much what works the best for me. You start with a Black Cleaver. This is, for me, I go for Black Cleaver 100% of my games, 100%. Because it gives you max health, bonus max health, it gives you attack damage, and 25 ability haste. This is very important because the ability haste is going to give you so much cooldown reduction. So Black Cleaver is also really good on Garen because your third ability allows you to get the stacks very fast. You'll shred through the armor of the enemy. After Black Cleaver, I go for Starrock's Cage. By the way, of course, after Black Cleaver, you want to buy boots. So I go for Starrock's Cage. This is yet again an amazing item for Garen. So when you get these two items, you'll still have 0 armor and 0 magic resist. The reason for that is because Garen already has a lot of armor and magic resist. You don't need to buy it in the early game yet, because bonus health combined with your second ability is going to be more than enough tankiness. So about what boots to buy. By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Mozilla from Nova, from Nova Esports, because he actually helped me construct a good Garen build. And yeah, really big shout out to Mozilla. About the boots, there are really only 2 boots that you want to go for, which is plated steel caps or boots of swiftness. So you never want to go for lifesteal boots. Don't go for this on Garen because you're a tank. Boots of swiftness are amazing to be able to be like super fast in teams. Never, ever, ever go for Mercury Threat. If I see you build Mercury Threat, I'm gonna be mad. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys to let me know in the comments. No, you know what? No. I'm not gonna say that already. I'm gonna do that during the gameplay. Mercury Threats are bad because Garen doesn't need tenacity, guys. Garen's first ability allows you to get out of slows, and Garen's second ability gives him tenacity, so you don't need Mercury Threats. Plated steel caps are very nice if the enemy has a lot of attack damage. Only get plated steel caps if the enemy has a lot of plated steel caps. And as your enchantment, oh yeah, it's funny because the one that's just sending me messages is you dodged my Malphite all 3 times. This is from the gameplay today. He was the enemy Malphite, yeah, you guys have to see today's gameplay. It's insane. So as for the enchantment, I almost always go for teleport. However, Locket is also good. I have tried Gargoyle, but I don't like it. And the reason for that is because Garen is already tanky enough. You really don't need a Gargoyle. You just don't need a Gargoyle. It's gonna reduce your damage, so that's the only problem. Go for Locket if you want to provide a shield to your whole team. Go for Teleport if you want to teleport to your team, right? These are pretty much the only two ones that I go for on Garen. Okay, and here it becomes interesting. What items do you build after these two items? This is completely situational. Let me explain some items that you can go for. If the enemy has a lot of healing, go for Thornmail, third item. You know, if they have Sona, go for Thornmail. If they have Nasus, go for Thornmail. Does the enemy have a lot of crit? For example, wait, I need to turn, I just need to do this real quick because I don't want to deny people's invitations. So yeah, if the enemy has a lot of crit damage, like let's say the enemy has Yasuo and Jinx in one team, both of these go full crit, then you go for Randuin's Omen, third item. Immediately rush to Randuin's Omen. Does the enemy, actually Spirit Visage is a mistake here. Does the enemy have a lot of ability power? Go for Force of Nature. You never want to go for Spirit Visage because Garen doesn't need this. His passive is already good enough. The only reason you could really go for Spirit Visage is if your team has a lot of healing. Like if your team has a Soraka or a Sona and you really feel like you can utilize the bonus healing from Spirit Visage, go for Spirit Visage. Otherwise, always go for Force of Nature because this item is going to give you more magic resist, going to give you bonus health, and it's going to allow you to stack even more magic resist and bonus movement speed during the fight. This item is amazing on Garen. You don't want to go for Frozen Nature because this one, Frozen Heart, sorry, because this one gives you max mana, so it's kind of wasted because Garen doesn't have mana. So you'll literally waste 500 gold of this item on mana, so you don't want to get this. Don't get this item. Deadman's Plate is very nice if you need bonus movement speed. And you can actually also get this item, which is Yumo's Ghost Plate. So I almost always go for Deadman's Plate. However, you can go for Yumo's Ghost Plate if you feel like you are tanky enough already and you just want even more damage. What other item? Let me see. I have tried some Fire Aegis, however, I don't like it. Guardian Angel is also a good item on Garen, but this is situational. And if you build Guardian Angel, always as your third item. Always. So Guardian Angel is a good item if you need more damage and you still want to have defense, because you know this one is going to give you a lot more damage. But if you feel like you just need more damage and you can utilize the armor, get a Guardian Angel. I almost never go for Guardian Angel, but it can be good. Okay, so about the runes. Grasp of the Undying. Always. This one is going to allow you to, you know, trade effectively in your lane. Now here, I always go for Champion on Garen, but you know, if you're starting to play Garen, I recommend you to start with Brutal. It's easier to play, but I go for Champion because I want to snowball the game, and with the Champion rune, you're going to be able to, like, you know, win your lane. So the way that I use my runes is if I go for Champion, I'm already going to be very strong in the early game. So what I do because of that is I get conditioning. In the first 5 minutes of the game, I'm not going to get any benefit from conditioning. But after 5 minutes, I get 8 armor and 8 magic resist, which is huge. Combined with Garen's kit, this is huge because you'll literally get 8 armor and 8 magic resist. Obviously, in the early game, you might struggle because you won't have, for example, Spirit Walker, which gives you 50 max health and slow resistance. You don't need Spirit Walker, guys. You don't need slow resistance. You already have your first ability. So get conditioning in combination with Champion. Otherwise, if you don't go for Champion, okay, let me show you. If you go for Brutal, get Backbone. It's just safer, okay? Get Backbone. You know, you'll be fine in the early game with that. But yeah, I go for Champion, so I go for conditioning. As your last rune, Hunter Genius. Don't go for Sweet Tooth. Garen doesn't need Sweet Tooth, guys, because his passive already gives him healing. So go for Hunter Genius for the cooldown reduction. So, oh yeah, as your spells, always Ignite. If you go for Barrier on Garen, I'm gonna be so mad at you. Don't go for Barrier. Go for Ignite, because Ignite is literally a core thing on Garen. If you don't have Ignite, you're gonna be way weaker on Garen, way weaker. I'll show you during the gameplay. So enough about this, let's get into the Garen gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. So this is actually a game with all Grandmasters and Masters, and I think the enemy had one Challenger as well, even though I'm Diamond 1, and the reason for that is because I literally won 9 games in a row with Garen, so yeah. And look at this skin, by the way. Wow! I love this skin. It's actually funny because my team was trash talking me. This Lee Sin said, oh, come on, what? Don't pick Garen, don't pick Garen. I just picked Garen, and then he started insulting me in the draft, so, you know, kinda sad. Look at this recall, by the way, so beautiful. And I'm laning against the Malphite. And oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you some very important things about Garen immediately, by the way. So what abilities do you need to upgrade first? First, you fully upgrade your third ability, and then your second ability, not your first ability. Let me tell you why. Upgrading your first ability is useless, absolutely useless. So when you upgrade it, the only benefit that you get, you're probably not gonna believe me, but the only benefit is you get more base damage. You only get more base damage. It doesn't reduce the cooldown reduction. You have no mana, so no mana increase or decrease cost. It doesn't increase your silence duration. Nothing. The only thing that you get is more base damage. However, your second ability, whenever you upgrade it, so your second ability on level 1 is going to give you damage reduction for 2 seconds. But when you upgrade it once, it's 3 seconds. When you upgrade it again, it's 4 seconds. And when you upgrade it fully, you get damage reduction for 5 seconds. And in the first seconds, the damage reduction is 60%. And in the following seconds, it's 30%. Now, and the cooldown is only 9 seconds in the late game with Black Cleaver and things like that. So think about it. You are playing Garen, you have your second ability on a 9-second cooldown, and 5 out of those 9 seconds, you're gonna have 30% damage reduction. Do you see my point here? Garen is so damn strong, guys. I literally have a 70% Garen win rate on my account. 70%. So I actually also did some beautiful things in this lane, so you really have to see how I'm gonna outplay this Malphite. This Malphite is a really good player, by the way. I've lost some games against him, so it's very, very nice. Also, an important thing to know about Garen, when you're spinning around, on the edge of your blades, you deal crit damage. It deals 20% more damage. So keep that in mind. When you're spinning around on Garen, you know, when you're spinning around with your blades, hit it on the edge. Look. I'm hitting him on the edge. That's why it's dealing crit damage. If you don't hit him on your edge, you're not gonna do. Look at this. Oh my god, I completely predicted that one. Take a look at this. He goes in, I ignite him. I predicted. No, well, I didn't really predict. I reacted to it. So I knew that he was gonna flash ult. I knew that he was thinking. So I had my finger on the flash button, and immediately when he flashed, I flashed away. And it's funny because I actually dodged like 3 Malphite ultimates in this game. So I'm actually gonna give you advice on how you can do this, because you may think that it's impossible to react to a Malphite ultimate, but let me give you some tips on how to dodge a Malphite ultimate. First of all, I'm gonna tell you it's incredibly hard. It's really, really hard to do, and practice makes perfect, but it's really hard. But there are some ways to make it easier. First of all, try to think like, okay, when is the Malphite gonna ult? You know, there he reached level 5 and I was low, so I had it in my mind, like he is probably gonna try to ult me and flash ult because he was far away. So you need to think about the enemy, when is he gonna ult, and then it's gonna be easier to react. And when you think that he's likely gonna ult, keep your finger on the flash button, because then you're gonna be ready to, you know, flash away. Take a look at this, hitting him on the edge of the sword, ultimate, first ability, boom. See, this is the disgusting gameplay that you can do on Garen. And I'm gonna tell you more things about Garen. So Garen is perhaps one of the best turret diving champions, especially in the mid game when you upgrade your second ability, because your second ability reduces turret damage as well, guys. Yes, it actually does. Like as you can see here, I'm upgrading my second ability. So whenever you dive a turret, use your second ability to reduce the damage. You'll literally take 60% reduced damage for the first second, and then 30% for the remaining duration. So keep that in mind. You always want to utilize Garen's second ability. Like, when I see people play Garen, I don't see them effectively utilizing the second ability often enough. While it's actually probably the most important ability of Garen, the second ability, because this ability is going to allow you to dive 1v5 into the enemy's comp, and I'm going to do that in this game too. You'll see it later on in this game. 1v5, and if you activate your second ability, they cannot kill you. They can genuinely not kill you. Like seriously, they cannot kill you. And you'll see in the late game what I mean with that. So yeah, here I have a Black Cleaver and that item that I forgot to BF sword, yeah. This is a huge power spike. When you get these two items, especially when you're snowballing, your damage is going to be incredible. You're going to be able to kill enemies, especially with your ignite. You can chase down enemies with your first ability and then use your third ability, and you're probably going to kill most champions like that because you have your ultimate to execute them as well. So another tip that I have for you on Garen is his first ability is a silence. It's not only damage, it's a silence for 1.5 seconds. Now, how can you make use of that silence? Before actually telling you guys how you can do it, I really want you guys to pause the video and let me know in the comments. I am doing this every video so you can actually test your knowledge of the game, and I think this is going to teach you guys very, very well. Oh, I actually ignite him. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this fight again, and he flashed away, but I just killed him with my ultimate. This is what I meant with the easy combination. So yeah, I hope you guys put down a comment under this video where you actually told me why, how you can utilize the silence. So it's not only good for damage, but the silence. Okay, let me tell you. So let's see how close you are. First of all, you can use your first ability and then immediately your ultimate. If you do this, the enemy has zero chance to block it. Zero, because they're silenced. You know, you can silence the enemy and kill them with your ultimate. Let me tell you another way to utilize the silence. Let's say your jungler is ganking. Okay, your jungler is ganking. What you have to do... Oh, take a look at this fight, by the way. Oh, wait, no, it's not here. It's going to be a little later. So when your jungler is ganking the lane... Oh, wait, I just really want to watch this fight. It's really, really nice again. Take a look. Boom. Holding my finger on the flash, and I flashed away again. Unfortunately, I died. I miscalculated. But do you see my point here? I'm gonna get back to the Malphite part. Do you see my point here about how you can really easily... Well, not easily, but how you can dodge a Malphite ultimate? When you think he's gonna ult, put your finger on the flash. And of course, when he ults, release your finger. And then you're gonna dodge it. So that's a really good tip on how to dodge Malphite ult. Yeah, I was talking about using the silence. So when your jungler ganks your lane, for example, use the silence when your jungler is initiating, right? When the enemy sees your jungler, immediately use the silence. Because when you silence the enemies, they cannot do anything. They cannot flash away, they cannot use abilities, they cannot do anything. So they're gonna be vulnerable for 1.5 seconds. You know, they're literally gonna be walking meat. So use it like that. Another way that silence can be good is you can stop an enemy from escaping. Let's say Evelyn dives your team. What you can do is when the Evelyn is at 50% HP, silence her with your first ability. Oh my god, look at this, so good. Silence her with your first ability. If you do that, she cannot use her ultimate. These are all ways to use silence. Another way to use silence is when the enemy is trying to smite the dragon, silence them. You know, you can silence enemies in these important parts. And yet another way to use your silence very well is focus on an enemy that has a very important ability in the fight. You know, like let's say the enemy is initiating the fight. If I silence the Malphite, I'm gonna delay his ultimate, which could be game changing. Because let's say all the enemies dive into my team and I silence the Malphite. So the Malphite is gonna be delayed. So these are all ways to use your silence. Let's take a look at this. He has a shield. Boom. Garen's ultimate is so disgusting, guys, really. It deals so much damage. It's crazy. And take a look at this as well. Like, look at how much damage I'm just dealing. And whoa. Wow. Damn. Evelyn's so broken, actually. The fact that she can kill Garen like that, crazy. I mean, I don't have any defense, so it's actually okay. And she has Infinity Orb. Yeah. So when you're playing Garen and you're going tank, because you have to go for tank, you know, these are the only damage items that you could go for. After that, you go for tank. The way that you want to play him in the late game is you want to be in the faces of the enemies. You want to be the one of your team that is hard diving the enemy, hard diving. All the enemies have to focus you, because you can deal damage with your third ability. You know, it's very obnoxious damage, and your second ability is going to allow you to tank a lot of damage as well. So keep that in mind. You know, in a team fight, you want to be the big tank. So let me give you some tips about the ultimate. First of all, of course, use the ultimate to execute an enemy. You know, whenever an enemy is low, execute them, because it deals more damage based on missing HP. Second tip that I have for you guys about the ultimate is it deals AoE damage. So whenever enemies are close to each other and you use your ultimate on someone, it deals 50% of that damage to enemies around them too. So whenever you see a lot of enemies clumped up together, especially when one of them is low HP, just use your ultimate on the low HP enemy, because you're like, it's okay to not kill an enemy like that, because you're gonna do massive damage to all the enemies. Another way that you can use your ultimate is, let's say your team and the enemy team are taking dragon. You can actually do a lot of damage to the dragon and use your ultimate like a smite, you know, like a smite. So you can use your ultimate on an enemy that is nearby the enemy, nearby the drake. And if you do that, you know, you're gonna do like 400, 500, 600 damage to the dragon, and you can actually maybe smite it. You see that? I have actually outsmited an enemy jungler before with Garen's ultimate. It's crazy. Another important thing to know about the ultimate is in team fights, you really want to seek enemies that are low, because you're literally going to be able to one-shot them with your ultimate. Like, take a look at this. You know, I see him being low, so I was chasing him. I wanted to just use my free ultimate on him. Like, as you can see here, all I'm doing here is I just want to hit my ultimate on an enemy, and yeah, unfortunately I'm unable to because they're playing very passively. But you understand my point here, right? You know, whenever an enemy is low, just use your ultimate, kill them. It's that easy. It's Garen, guys. It's a brain dead champion. Okay, so some cool things to know about Garen too is there is like a little surprise combo on Garen that you can do, which is using your first ability, flash on an enemy, ignite, third ability, and then ultimate. Let me explain. So let's say an enemy is at like 60% HP. What you can do is you can trigger your first ability to get bonus movement speed, flash on the enemy, silence them, and during the silence you immediately ignite them, and then you're gonna use your third ability for like 1 second, and then right before the silence ends you're gonna use your ultimate, so they cannot block it either. This combination is brutal, absolutely brutal combination, because this has no counterplay. The enemy has no counterplay because they're silenced. You are just gonna kill the enemy, and as I said, they have no counterplay at all. So it's actually crazy how strong this can be. So let's take a look. You know, I'm getting a target low, Malphite is low, and he's dead. This is what you do on Garen. Whenever an enemy is low, oh, here, look at this. You can flash on an enemy. Unfortunately, I was a little too late because he actually dashed away. So yeah. And look at Garen. The funny thing about Garen is too, this champion is so stupid. The funny thing is when you're out of combat for 5 seconds, you're gonna heal up based on your missing health. So the lower your HP is, the more you're gonna heal. And in the late game, this heal is, I think it's like 3.4% of your missing HP. You're gonna heal that every second. It's crazy, right? So whenever you're super low, you don't always have to go back. Especially during a team fight, what you can do is just go out of the fight, wait for like 15 seconds, and you're gonna be back to like 20-30% HP. It's crazy, I know, it's actually crazy. So that's what Garen can do, guys. Here, actually, Evelyn just outsmited our Lee Sin. I don't really know why, but yeah, he just kind of failed. As you can see here, you know, Evelyn low, ultimate, boom, easy peasy peasy peasy. Really, really easy. I really love Garen. Like, I played a lot of games of him, and like, you saw how many games I actually won. And the games that I did lose was not even my fault. Like, I was winning my lane, but my team was just bad. Every single game that I played on Garen, I did well. So I really hope that you guys are also gonna give Garen a try. And keep in mind, you know, join my Discord. Here you can still see it. Join the Wait, what? I mean, yeah, join the Discord. You know, it almost has 1,000 members. You can actually ask me questions there. I reply to the questions. You can talk to the community. You can find new teammates to play with. You can actually do video suggestions. You know, people suggest me what videos to do, and I read all of that. You can, there's just a lot. You can even promote your own content. If you have good plays, you can put it there. Everything. So make sure you join the Discord. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people actually find new friends there and play with them and, you know, play Wilders with them. And as I said, I'm also going to be doing some exciting things there very soon. I'm not going to tell you what. Just make sure you join the Discord. You know, link in the description. So let's take a look at this. Oops, I just clicked here. Let's take a look at this. Wow, the Malphite actually dealing decent amount of damage. So let me tell you how you can counter Garen actually. First of all, champions that deal HP based damage counter Garen, especially Vayne. Vayne is the biggest counter to Garen. Secondly, an item like Liandry's is also very good into Garen, because whenever Garen gets hit by Liandry's, you know, by damage from Liandry's, he's not only gonna take damage, but over 3 seconds after that, he's also gonna take damage. So of course that's gonna delay his passive. You know, whenever an enemy has Liandry's, like the Malphite, he's actually gonna delay my passive by a lot, thus reducing my healing. Take a look at this. I just use my flash and oh, look at how much I can tank. Oh my god, Garen is crazy. I did still die, however, but did you see how much damage I was tanking there? And that is all because of my second ability. This is all because of my second ability. So in this game, I actually did decide to go for Yuma's Ghost Blade because I wanted the bonus movement speed and I just wanted even more damage because I was already tanky enough in this game. I didn't really need more defense yet. I was tanky enough. And we already have Braum, which is also a tanky champion. So I decided to go for damage in this game. Man, I talk so much in my videos. By the way, guys, make sure you give this video a like. You know, if you're still watching the video, make sure you give it a like. It may be something simple to you, but it really supports the channel a lot. And it not only supports the channel, I just really feel, you know, I really love the feeling when a lot of people give a video a like, because then I actually realize that I made good content because people have enjoyed it. So, you know, if you guys want, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Pay attention to the subscribe button, you know, because some people may forget. Make sure to subscribe. And yeah, enough of that. No, I'm not gonna talk more about it. So take a look at this. We're sticking together as a team, and basically as a Garen in the late game, you don't want to split push. You almost never want to split push unless you have teleport. I have teleport in this game, so split pushing would be fine. But as a Garen, you always want to be with your team because you really excel in team fights. And take a look at this. The Malphite gets low. I just destroy the Malphite. That's what you need to do on Garen, guys. Whenever an enemy is low, okay, let me give you another tip. Okay, this may be something that you didn't pay attention to. So you really want to use your ultimate on a tank like Alistar, like Malphite, like whatever, a tank. Why, you may think? Why? So if the enemy Malphite is at like 40% HP and I execute him with my ultimate, enemies around him are also gonna take 50% damage. And 50% of that damage is huge because the Malphite has a lot of HP. Take a look at this fight as well. I use my second ability to block the damage. Starrick's Gauge. Easy kill on the Z. This is Garen for you guys. This is Garen for you guys. And this is why the second ability is the most important ability of Garen. Did you see that? Just tell me you saw that. How crazy is it that Garen can survive a full combination of a Z, and the enemy Z has 2 armor penetrating items, 2. But yet I still survived it with my second ability, even though he hit me with a full combo of shurikens, third ability ultimate, and shred through all my armor. I still survived because of my second ability. That is how broken Garen can be, guys. Here, take a look at this. No, take a look at this. Take a look at this. As you can see here, whenever you level up your first ability, you only get more base damage. Here, it's proof. You can actually see it here. So, no extra cooldown reduction, no extra, nothing. Just extra base damage. So, it's useless. Almost useless. So yeah, here we got the Elder Dragon, you know, and now it's just over. Whenever you get an Elder Dragon, you just want a team fight, because you're likely gonna win any team fight with the Elder Dragon, right? Because you're gonna have the bonus true damage and the Elder Dragon bonus. It's just, you know, it's crazy. You're supposed to win. Like here, take a look at this. I don't want to finish up the Baron. I just want to fight, because we can easily destroy them. And here, yet again, I'm focusing the Malphite, and boom. The ultimate is just such a disgusting ability. It's truly disgusting because it's such a brain dead ability, and it's just such a stupid ability. Look at how I'm tanking the turret. Look at how long I'm tanking. Look. I think I tanked like 15 turret shots there. Maybe even 20. I don't even know. It was not 20. It was like 15 turret shots. And I didn't even care about the turret shots. I almost forgot that I was tanking the turret shots. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at how much damage I actually did. Wait, let's go here. Yeah, I got 80 or whatever. And here. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't MVP, but look at this. I almost dealt the most damage in the game, man. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video of Garen. Make sure to give the video a like. And yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.